Hello, if you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Thanks for being here. I'm Jenny. I love all things crochet and yarn. This week we are back to a vlog style video, I guess. We've got a little bit of everything. I'll show you my finished pattern test for Stitch by Scott, a few makes. I do a little bit of a run to the collective, and I have a sales report to share with you. And also, this is a little bit of a teaser, but this morning I decided to get into my craft room and do a tidy up, which was well overdue, I must say. So anyway, grab your work in progress, your cuppa, your drink, whatever it might be, and I can just natter on in the background while you work away. But let's get into this week's vlog. Good morning. I thought I would just hop on really quickly before I duck off to work. What is this bright thing in the sky that we have not seen for almost a week? It's very bizarre. Anyway, I just wanted to jump on to show you my finished pattern test for the seal with the floaty. I mentioned this in last week's video that I was testing this. Isn't it adorable? Love it. I happen to have some small little noses, so it worked out perfect. Otherwise, I probably would have just embroidered it. But yeah, I added the whiskers. It wasn't in the pattern. I just added the whiskers. This is by Larissa at Stitched by Scott. A nice, quick little make. And I, again, did the yarn under, yarn over technique. Still wrapping my brain around it, but I do think that it does look good. Actually, the floaty is just yarn over, but I don't think it really matters. Lovely, quick make, lovely aesthetic pattern, easy to follow. Yeah, all positive, all positive. It has not yet released. However, if it has released by the time this video is posted, I will have it on the screen and let you know. Speaking of pattern tests, Gail the Gator that I tested for Stacey last week has now released. At the time of recording, it is on sale, but it won't be by the time you see this. So, but I would have shared in my stories, so hopefully you've seen that if you're wanting that pattern. I did go ahead and purchase Patsy the Cow as well this morning, so I may even make one before the end of the video. So we'll see how I go with that. But little seal done, dusted. Zaddy Crafts a really good chenille for the seal with a 5mm hook. And I always forget to mention the hook sizes, but when I'm using the chenille yarn, I always use a 5mm. She does recommend that when you're doing the floaty, you go down a hook size. So this is the Aldi variegated, and I used a 4mm for that. So very, very sweet. Now, the other thing, I'm working on a custom order. Lovely Mary Rose, she's very patient. She wanted a custom order of these. They don't have little faces yet, but they will soon. So 2 little kitties in the Aldi variegated, and I have started on 2 koalas in overalls for her. So I will get that done over the next couple of days. Then I need to focus on makes for the collective. I did receive another sales report, so I think in the next little clip I will have that for you. And the other thing I was going to show you is that I did create some, I mentioned previously that for my makes at the collective, I usually just use these little tags that I got from Amazon, like for the small makes in particular. And every time I have to go ahead and write the product code, the price, a safety warning if it has safety eyes. So I just went onto Canva and whipped up a few things including, I don't know why I didn't do this ages ago, but I did do some little logos. Now they're not stickers, it's just on cardstock, I guess, cardboard. And I will go ahead and cut those out, hole punch them, and just attach one to every little make. So, because then, yeah, it's just a little reminder, I guess, of where it came from. So my little logo. Now I may adjust the size of these. I did just do a little tag. I've left room so I can hole punch it for product code and price. And then I whipped up, now I've done some in white, but also I did some in red. Just a little safety warning. So what it says is safety warning in bold. This item contains safety eyes that may pose a risk to small children, not suitable for children under 3 years. So I will use my little cutter thing, whatever you call it. It's not a guillotine, but it's for my Cricut. That's what I'm using. And I will cut these out, hole punch, and attach to every single item that has the safety eyes. So I just thought that would say, yeah, that's probably saved me quite a bit of money by just creating those in Canva myself and then printing them on the cardboard. So we'll see how those go. Once I have tagged a few items for the shop, I will show you. You can see what they look like. But that is probably the little update for now. I'm plugging away with, I haven't done any on my Hexicardi for a little while now, but I'm adding a row here and there to my baby blanket that I've been working on. So I just need to remember to take my 5mm hook to work. I just find that a project like that is just far easier than plushies, because sometimes I don't even get time in my breaks to do it. So that's the plan. I'm going to head to work and I'll do another check-in either this afternoon or tomorrow. Okay, it's now Friday afternoon, so I need to work out what I need to update you on. I did finish my custom order, which was 2 koalas with embroidered eyes, and I just did the sleepy eyes, and I actually quite like it. Now, for the first time, I did also change up the ears from the pattern. This is the free pattern by Crocheted by Lila on Instagram. It's the one I've been making all along. But the ears are fairly chunky when you make them. You basically make a little circle, fold it over, single crochet them together. But it ends up being quite thick. So I decided to just do the ears myself, and I did 7 half double crochet into a circle, chain 1, turn, and then single crochet back. Then I changed over to the faux fur yarn, and then I did another 7 single crochet back. So it's just a little semicircle basically. And then, so it's thinner, it's a bit easier to sew on, but it's still a similar shape. So I'm actually quite happy with that. So I think that is what I will do moving forward with the ears. So there we go. So they are going off along with 2 little loaf kitties. These were the requested colours, the Aldi variegated yarn, and she also wanted embroidered eyes. So I don't love these eyes, but it's for little ones, so they need to be embroidered. Also done the nose and whiskers. So those 4 items will be getting shipped out maybe this afternoon, if not in the morning. I had showed you my finished pattern test of the seal. That is now live. So I will have Larissa's Etsy store or website, I'm not sure, I think it's Etsy store. I'll have Larissa's store linked in the description below. Now I can't really remember what I showed you. I had done think I showed you I had done some logos, I had done some safety warnings, and I did just change the little tags with so I've got the spot for the product code and the price there. So I changed the shape a little bit because they were longer before. So I updated that. I've cut a heap out, punched a hole in it. So now I actually do need to tag some things and take it down to the collective. So they are all ready to go. I just haven't punched the logo ones yet, but I've done a heap of the little tags for the safety eyes, so I think they came up okay. And we'll see whether I'll do it for a while and see if I think that that's okay, and if not, we'll look at it again. Now I do have a report for you to go through, so let's just do that quickly. Now this is from the 1st of July until the 27th of July. So it's basically almost all of July. Now remember, the runs or the reports are in fortnights. So it is run 1 and run 2 because it goes by the financial year. So I won't do prices, but I'll give you an overall tally. Okay, so first sale was for one of my drifts. I think that one might have been blue variegated, I believe. I sold the koala in blue overalls, so same as this, except it had safety eyes. I sold a small grey spider, small octo, not too sure of the colour there. Now that was the pattern by Crafty Mumpreneur, that one. I sold a chick, a tiny blue turtle. Those turtles have been there for a little while, so I don't think there's too many left now, so that's great. I sold a bullfrog. I can't recall the name of the pattern, but I'll look it up for you. And a key ring. Now I'm not sure exactly what one it was because I just have them all listed under the same code number. And sometimes she might write on there which one it was, but she hasn't done in this case, so never mind. So that was the first fortnight of July, and that was a total of $167, and after commission it was $148.63. So, and I do know in actual fact that some of the vendors didn't even earn anything, so I'm actually really grateful for these two runs because I know that not everyone was as lucky. Now the second fortnight, the second half of July, I sold a sitting bee, a small dino. Now these dinos have actually been there for a while as well, and the one that went was the blue one. I sold the blue budgie. Now the budgies were a pattern test that I did for Crochet by Mercedes. So such a realistic pattern. It's fabulous. If you like to crochet birds, then I do recommend that pattern very much so. And just with changing colors, you can actually change it to look like different birds. It's fabulous. I also sold 2 chicks in eggs. So the hatching chick, that's the Louis and Berg pattern that I use. So I do actually need to make some more of those. Now I also sold 2 of the cats with accessories. This was the pattern test I did for Porgy's Place. And I believe the ones that sold in this run were the one of the cats in the little bed, and the other one I believe was the cat on a swing, which is the bed just with the swing attached to it basically. So they weren't there for too long actually before they sold, so that was great. What was also great was that I then sold my dragon that was down there, which was the one of my Crochet by Jenni dragons. I really love that pattern. It works up quite quick and you can really do some great color combinations. That one I believe was my It was a pale blue with pale blue with purple spikes, I believe, and purple wing details. So I was really happy to hear that that went. I also sold a Mabel chicken. That might be the last Mabel chicken. They've been there for a while and they don't move quickly, but it did go, so that's great. I also sold a baby frog, so that's the smallest, I believe. That's the Pocket Frog Pattern by Lacromi on Instagram. I also sold 2, now I think they were the bee key rings, and they had pretty much been requested, I believe. Actually, maybe they weren't. I think that might be in the next run. So that might have been a sitting bee and just a, you know, your normal pill type style bee. So the bees are also doing quite well down there. And I sold the second bullfrog as well, or lazy frog, whatever you want to call it. So the frogs are definitely proving to be quite good sellers as well. So no matter which ones I do, the leggy frogs have done well, the small ones have done well. Yeah, so I'm going to continue to do those. Now those sales for that fortnight was $322, and after commission it was $286.58, and I believe that's probably my best fortnight that I've had since I started there in March. So I'm absolutely stoked with that. So yeah, July, not the whole month, it's about 4 days short of the whole month. I was fortunate enough to earn $435.21. So, and as I said, I do know that not all the other vendors were so fortunate. So I'm really, really grateful. Now, I'm thinking my 6 months is up at the end of August, but I'm doing well enough that I am planning on, I guess, renewing my lease, if you like. I just need to decide for how long. However, I think I would be silly to not do it until at least, you know, through Christmas. I know that the beginning of the year is pretty quiet, but Christmas, I feel like, and leading up to Christmas, I think is going to be really busy. So in an ideal world, what I would like to do is essentially market prep for the store, because I would like to have things on hand so that if I need to duck down and top it up, I can, without having to go crazy and feel like I can't keep up. So yeah, so there we go. It's going great. Now, as I am nearing the end of 6 months, I think I will do a specific video, I guess, on my 6 months, talk about what I outlaid to be there, what I've earned, etc., what the best sellers have been, and yeah, someone might find it helpful. But that's the update. But for now, I'm going to actually tag a few items and then quickly get down there. This is the only issue that I have, as in when I'm working, there's not many days that it remains open in the afternoon once I've finished my day job. So I'm a little bit limited in when I can get down there. But I'm also lucky that it is only 5 minutes or so from home. But anyway, that's the update. I will duck back on tomorrow probably and show you what else I've made. Good morning. It is now Sunday morning and I feel like I've got a lot to update you on. Now, where to start? So I guess continuing on from Friday, I was talking about the collective. So I did manage to get down there just before closing time, and so I dropped off the 3 smaller Nigel frogs, including Nigella, the love or hater, the pink one with the lips. I also took down the 3 small koalas, as well as the 2 koalas in overalls, and and Arrow, the bear, the aviator bear that I did for my pattern test for Jenni at Oak and Ave Crochet. Now that is still not released as yet, but it's getting really, really close. Now, she did very kindly say that we could make some of the other ones that, I mean, I put my hand up to do the bear, so I did the bear, but she's happy for us to make some of the others as well. So she has sent me Finn the Fox, and I cannot wait to make him. I just haven't had time yet, so hopefully that might be in the next video. But that's going to be an amazing pattern pack. Honestly, it's going to be fabulous. So now, in the way of makes, I do have a couple of makes to show you. Now, you may recall last week I pattern tested Gail the Gator for Stacey at Stacey Makes. Such a lovely pattern. I love her so much. I was going to drop her to the collective as well, but in the end I just didn't have too much time, and I'm pretty full on as far as product codes go, so I really needed to take time, sit down, go through the list and see what code was available. So she can wait till next time. But I did purchase one of Stacey's other patterns, which is Patsy the Cow. Oh, isn't she sweet? She is lovely. So I have used all Zaddy Crafts yarn, and I always forget to mention, but I always use a 5mm hook with my chenille yarn. So I have used, now I was going to check the colors for you. The, I guess it's an off-white. I think it's supposed to be white. And of course it's not in front of me. I will look up that color and tell you what it is. The beautiful rust color is called Cuddly. I really, really like that color. And I'm pretty sure the brown, the dark brown, is Reliable. And the gray, that's one of the original ones. I will look up that color as well, but, oh sorry, and of course the pink. All Zaddy Crafts yarn. So I love the look of her. I really do. I probably won't make many of them purely for the fact that she does take a while, and I think for her size, I just don't know that I could charge accordingly, if you know what I mean. So I think down the track, when I have a little bit more time, I think I might make one in either blanket or possibly Premier Basics chenille, I'm thinking. And I also did yarn over on this one as well, which it does slow me down a little bit. I'm definitely getting better at it, but obviously it makes it a bit smaller as well. And I'm interested to hear what other people think about in relation to Zaddy Crafts. Some of the colors, like this color, was not fun to work with. It has a bit of a different texture, and it just wasn't fun to work with. It wasn't smooth. It slowed me down as well. So I don't know what it is about that color, but yeah, it took me quite a while, but I love the pattern, Stacey. It's and you know, to get these precise like looks in regards to color changes and everything, you're doing a bit of back loop only and third loop and things like that. So that probably is what also slows me down a little bit, but I just think it's, you know, definitely worth it for the result. It's a great pattern for a gift, I think, because you don't mind putting in the extra time when it's for a gift. But Patsy, love her. Another great pattern, Stacey. So I did that, and I mainly did that one just because I wanted to, really. But these next makes will be specifically for the collective, and they are some more jumping spiders. They always do really, really well down there. I make these in chenille yarn and a 5mm hook, and so they are quite small. So I guess I market them as baby spiders, and they always do really, really well. So I've got the grey Zaddy Crafts yarn, also Zaddy Crafts, and these two are just, they are, might help if I look. They are the microfiber chunky knit yarn, which you can get fairly widely at discount stores. I think these came from the Base Warehouse. They're really quite inexpensive, and I don't mind the way that they work up. I know that Tracy from Travel Crochet did one of my snake patterns in this black and white, and it looked so good, and I do think it looks really good for a spider as well. So if you're in Australia and you can get, I mean, the colours are a bit, how are you going? They're not really what I would say is nice, but having said that, they are great for, like, I think I'm going to do some snakes in this, and I might actually do another spider as well. But I think the spiders turn out great, and as I said, I know that they always do really, really well at the collective, and Emily did ask for some that were also plain colours as well. So there we go. That's all I've done as far as finished makes go. I have something that I need to make today because I'm doing it for a birthday present for a student at school, and that will be a pattern that I haven't used yet, so I'm going to save that for another video because I'm going to work on a video for the Crochet Your Collection, which is another challenge by Stacey and April, and it's very similar to my stash busting challenge, which I started with great gusto and then I really fell off the wagon. And I have to tell you, I have bought a lot of patterns recently. I do need to stop. It's a problem. And there are still some that I haven't bought yet, which I really, really want to. That is Nibbles the Mouse by Robin at Knotting Hook Crochet. That is pretty much the top of the list of one I need to buy. I really want to get the QB Crochet Rat pattern as well. I feel like I could do it myself, and everyone that makes those rats thinks it's a great pattern and it sells really well, so that's also up there. But for now, I definitely have enough patterns. I did go a little bit crazy and I bought, I think, 4 Crochet Grove patterns because I've never done any of her patterns before and everyone always raves about them. So yeah, and you saved 25%, I believe, once you bought 4. So that's what encouraged me to do that, and that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So anyway, the other thing I did want to show you, I know this is a bit all over the place, this week's video, but hopefully you're still here hanging in with me. About a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, my lovely friend Kim from Crafty Chaos Emporium reached out to me. If you watch her, you'll know that she is trying to help one of her friends and work colleagues, I guess, get going with her little small business, and that is Vicky Vass Designs. I think I will take a picture of the QR code and have it here for you if you want to check it out. Anyway, she asked me if I would be interested in having Vicky send me a hook to try. So yeah, so I said, yeah, of course. So she sent me, I told her, I asked for a 5mm because it is my most used hook, and I told her pink or blue, and that was the only and that's all. Yeah, so anyway, this is what she sent me. It's very, very sweet, very sweet, very cute cow. She must have known that it's been all about the cows recently over on my channel. So I absolutely love the look of it. Now, if you have been here for a while, you might know that I am definitely 100% a clover hook girl. I think virtually every single hook that I use is either the, I guess, original one or the clover soft touch, which are the ones with the like gold handles and gold here as well. So, but having said that, I think, you know, when I started, I used these type of aluminium hooks, and I am usually I'll probably a pencil grip hold, I would say, but I do change it up sometimes. So I was interested to see, I guess, how I would go with this, because it's very different. It's very, very different to my clover. But I tried it. Now, what did I make earlier in the week? I think it was the seal. I did use this a little bit for the seal, and it was okay, but it was just I was slower because of how I was holding it, I think. And the tips, even though, yeah, the tips, I'm not sure how well you can see there, but the tips are very similar, but it catches a little bit more on this one. But what I did find, because I have been continuing to take this blanket to work and work on it during my breaks, and I got a little bit done this week. And what I did find was that I was able to really, I guess, get into quite a groove with this hook. So I think I just worked out, you know, what angle to hold it so that it wasn't sort of catching there. And then I was able to sort of kind of speed along with it. So it's going to be a fabulous, I would say, it's not going to be my first choice. However, I'm very, very happy to use it as a second, and definitely I'm going to continue using it on this blanket. So thank you so much, Vicky, for sending that to me. She does make other items as well. So like little silicone bead keychains and pens, and I think I might even order a pen or two actually. And I think she's taking pre-orders for hooks at the moment, and I'm going to throw in an order for, I'm thinking, a 7 and an 8mm hooks, because the clovers, as you may know, are plastic and I don't really like them. So I'm going to pop in an order with Vicky for those. And yeah, as I said, go check her out, show her some love on her Instagram. And yeah, thank you, Vicky. What else was I going to say about that? Oh, yeah, got it. And the only other thing I'm thinking that I might do, because when I found, I guess, the sweet spot as far as how to hold it, I did get a little indent on my finger. So, and I know that Kim does this. She pops a makeup sponge onto the hook, and that just gives you another place to hold it, which, yeah, so that, I feel like that is going to work for me. So I think I can slot it on here, and then, yeah, I'm going to be able to use it really well, I believe. So there we go. Go check out her website. This blanket, depending on how I go today, it is actually pretty close to being done. This is the Confetti Cakes blanket, I believe. I'm just using Spotlight, my good old Spot Saver tweed that I often use. So, and I think this is my last ball of it. So we'll do maybe another 6 or so rows, I think, and then I'm just going to do a really, really simple border, and that's going to be a lovely gender neutral blanket for the collective. Baby blanket, if I didn't say that. So there we go. I feel productive. I feel pretty good. But we're about to go next level, because I'm going to show you the state of my room. It's embarrassing, but you know, I'm sure some of you can relate. It's getting to a point where I'm feeling almost claustrophobic in here, because I've bought a bit of yarn recently, but I also do have yarn sitting in here that I'm not using, and that's probably a lot of acrylic. Some of it I will part with, but some of it I want to hang on to, you know, because I do still use it occasionally. So I'm going to definitely keep that, but I'm going to pack it away appropriately and then use that space for my chenille. Because, yeah, are you ready to see it? brace yourself. Okay, it's pretty bad, but you know, I had this tidy, you know, it seems like not so long ago. It actually was quite a while, but I mean, these shelves are still okay. My trolley's okay here as well, but this has become, that's become pretty messy, so that needs an overhaul. And okay, here's my little table, my desk kind of thing where I sit, and that's become overrun as well. And a lot of the yarn in this area here is what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go through that totally, pack a lot of this. This is all DK weight, or oh gosh, medium weight, I think it would be, weight yarn. I do really like it. It's all Stylecraft Special DK and Paint Box Simply DK. I think that's what it's called. This is my yarn for my Year of Granny Squares Cal, and that's for Hexicardies. But anyway, yeah, okay, here we go. This is some of this that's actually going. I'm not sure why I haven't got rid of that yet. This is some of the Zaddy Crafts yarn and Paddy's Plush yarn, blanket yarn that I just haven't found a place for yet. And this is extra. This is in my, my walk-in. It's not a walk-in. This is in my built-in wardrobe. It's got a lot of blanket yarn. It's got some Paddy's Plush, but I've got some storage things down there which are not being used. So that's where I plan to put the acrylic. And I'm going to try and be a little bit more ruthless with what I get rid of, because if I'm not going to use it, someone else may as well use it. And there is a local op shop that I can donate to, and all of the basically they support the local community living with disability. Oh gosh, have I got a disability? They support the local community living with disabilities, so I'm more than happy to donate it to them. So anyway, this is what I'm going to do today. The last time I did this, it actually took me all day, so I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. So you may not see it at the end of this video. I'm not too sure, but I'll let you know either way. It's a big job though. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay. That was a lot more than cool. That was a lot more than I even thought. Hence why I am definitely going to part with things that I know I'm not going to use. So a lot of this stuff I have grabbed when it's been on special or it's been a really good price. So, and I have had projects in mind for them. So I need to probably focus on that. For example, this blue, I did grab a number of those because I think I had been thinking Anchor the Octopus. So yeah, maybe I should do that. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you with the whole thing. I think I'll just give you little updates as I go. I've got Sammy by Crochet by Sammy keeping me company. She's playing while I attack this because I need some kind of motivation. Okay, here is the current update. I've cleared out a lot of the DK or medium weight acrylic yarn there, plus also some cotton. I have cleared out cubbies down there. Oh, I still need to attend to that because I won't be keeping all of that. I have in my wardrobe here, the bottom storage bin is all filled with chunky weight yarn. This is all DK, medium weight yarn. There's quite a lot of it. Most of these, not all of them, but a lot of them are full skeins. There's a lot of scraps in there. I've just reused this polyfill bag, and in there is all Spot Saver yarn from Spotlight. Most of them are full skeins as well, so I know that I will use them at some point. I'm not ready to part with them yet. So that's where we're up to. It is, as I expected, taking a considerable amount of time, but I know I'm going to feel very happy once it is done. Okay, at this point I am seriously regretting my life choices, but it's getting there. You can see behind me, I've got a bit of a rainbow thing going on there. I decided that I would mix my Zaddy Crafts yarn and my Paddy's Plush because they work really, really well together, and they are at this point my go-to for chenille yarn. So I just put them out on my table and like into colours, and then I've gone from there. I'm going to pack up some of my other chenilles and decide some of the older Parfait Chunky I might just get rid of, or I don't know, I might keep it in case of emergency. But either way, I'm removing it from here currently because I think I will put some of my blanket yarn there, but this is the current update. Well, I guess from the thumbnail, you have probably guessed that I did manage to get it done. I'm fairly exhausted, but that's okay. It's so worth it. And it's one of those jobs that once you start, you just can't stop. You've got to keep going. And it just feels so much better now. I'm going to be parting with a lot of yarn. And yes, I know I do still have a lot, but you know, my hope is that I will go through it at some point. Now, I've also been collecting for a number of years. This is not an overnight thing. I've been crocheting for well over 10 years. So a lot of this yarn I have had since almost the beginning. So it survived the first cull, but some of it did not survive the second. So I will flick you around and show you what I got done. So in this wardrobe now, we have, I know exactly where everything is as well. I've got up in that bag up there, that's all cotton, and it's things that I just don't want to part with just yet. I've got all my acrylic there. I know exactly what weight is where. In this one here, I have some, this is mainly Scarly chenille, because I don't want to throw that away. It is really soft. It just does shed a little bit, so that's why it's not my number one go-to, but I do still like it, so I don't want to throw it out as yet. I've got, and this is all, that's all acrylic as well, I guess like a worsted weight yarn. This big bag here is all blanket yarn. I'm not, and this is something that I will have no problem sticking to, I'm not buying any more blanket yarn at the moment because I've got so much, and it's not a weight that I use a lot of. So I'm just going to store that in another room, just out of the way, because that cupboard is fairly full. So I'm just going to get that out of here. This is just bits and pieces there of chunkier, really quite chunky weight yarns. Here we've got, and I'm really happy with this area now, we've got some blanket yarn down the bottom. We've got, now I didn't realise I actually have a lot of mill ends, and I'm not one of these people. I would like to, but I just don't. I don't cake it as soon as I get it. So I've got, and I've put these here because then that way they're sort of on display, and then I'm going to remember what I've actually got. So that's all mill ends, like a lot of it is possibly Bernat, but it's very similar to Premier Basics chenille, I think. In here we've got little scrap caked yarn that is probably, a lot of it is Premier Basics chenille. Here we have some yarn that I got at Big W recently. It was on sale. It's all really quite different. Most of it is Panda brand, not all of it. This one is Shorn Sheep, but they're really quite quirky, fluffy, different yarns, and they're really vibrant, and I thought they'd be really good for like the combs of chickens, do some quirky little chickens. So I just grabbed one of each of those, but I loved the colours. I thought they were great. So over here, oh gosh, this is what I'm really happy with. And I guess it's what I had envisaged. And now I'll be able to see exactly what I have. So these two are all my Premier Basics chenille. And then I think I mentioned before, I've got all my Zaddy Crafts and Paddy's Plush together because they do work really well together. So these 4 cubbies are a mixture of Paddy's Plush and Zaddy Crafts yarn, and they're pretty much rainbow. So I'm actually really happy with that. I do have some extras that I sort of found. That's a lot of, there's some Paddy's Plush and also some blanket yarn, but you won't be able to see that. So but I do know what's there. These ones are some of the, now what's the brand? I don't think it's Portercraft. I can't recall. It was one of the ones I got online, which was really quite cheap, but I haven't done anything with them yet. So now that they're not out of sight, hopefully they won't be out of mind. I've got some caked leftovers of blanket yarn here, and I also have a couple of skeins in there of Portercraft yarn that I got from a local discount store, mainly because I just want to try it. And I've got, this is some of the caked mill ends from Spotlight, and I've got a few skeins of blanket yarn there. And my mandala, what's it called? You know, the one, they were on sale a little while ago at Spotlight. And then these two are what I still have left from my Aldi haul. So I do, and if they have it next year, I don't think I'll get the solid colours aside from white, but I really love the variegated colours. And anything that I make in these colours and I put at the collective, it always sells. So I am very glad that I did stock up on that. The solid, not so good. It's just not as soft. So anyway, lesson learned for next year. But basically, that is it. I'm really happy with it. I didn't get to tidying this. I will at some stage, but the yarn was the main deal for today. I'll take you in where I've got all the yarn that I am getting rid of, and I'll just give you a quick look at that. So this is what I will be parting ways with. I have there's probably at least 24 or 5 skeins of Unreal Chenille there. I like the colours and everything, but it's not for me. I have quite a lot of cotton. A lot of that is from Hobby, as is these acrylics as well. I thought I would use them, but I just haven't. And inside this box is a lot of Parfait Chunky and some of the Spotlight chenille that I know I'm not going to use. So that's what I'm going to be parting with, and I'm sure that someone will be able to find a use for them. So there we go. All in all, I estimate that that took me probably about 3 hours to do, but looking around me now, I feel very happy. I am, particularly with this situation behind me, I know where everything is. I know what colours I've got, what colours I need, and it's all at hand, you know, rather than having to go look for it. And the things that I don't need are packed away, or they will move on to their forever homes. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed today's video, even though it was a little bit all over the place. If you've stuck around this long, please give me a yarn emoji. That would be appropriate for today, I think. And if you did, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you. I can't even say that I'll see you in Thursday night's video, because there isn't one unless I manage to do my makes for the Crochet Your Collection challenge. Is that what I said it was called? I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. If I can do at least 5 makes, then I will do a video, and then that could come out on Thursday, but we'll see. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself, so we'll just see how I go. But I hope you've all had a fantastic weekend, and I hope you all have a great week ahead. But until next time, thanks for being here. Stay safe, and bye for now.